I've been locked up for 264 days. I have nothing but a small notebook and a broken pen and the numbers in my head to keep me company. One window, 4 walls, 144 square feet of space, 26 letters in an alphabet. I haven't spoken in 264 days of isolation, 6,336 hours since I've touched another human being. They tell me I'm getting a cellmate? No, a roommate. Another psycho just like me. No, scratch that out. No more isolation.
And you're a girl. Yeah, great.
You can't touch me.
What's your name? Hello? So you're insane? Is that why you're here? Why won't you answer me? What's your name?
Why are you here?
Well, I'm not insane. Do we get group therapy or something around here?
Until you came, I haven't spoken to a single person in 264 days.
Hi everybody, I'm Joe.
And I'm Mary.
And we're Book Buds. And today we are going to hear about Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. How was this?
I've been enjoying this. I'm reading this with my 14-year-old daughter. It was an assignment. They had to be reading a dystopian novel for school. And so they're broken up into different groups, and each group is reading a different book. And she got stuck with this book. Didn't want to read it.
No?
No, but then fell in love with it.
Okay. All right.
And is like tearing through it. We're on to the second book now, even though that's not required for school.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty good.
So it's been a hit. It's really been a good one. The world that they're in is kind of, everything is falling apart. There's, the birds can't fly any longer. There's not enough food for people to eat.
So what are the birds? They just like flopping around?
They're like not abundant, and they just, I guess, hop.
Do we know why?
I don't know why. And I'm on to the second book, and I still don't quite know why. But,
That's
cool.
cool.
we've destroyed our world, like we're doing right now. It's kind of like implied that that's what we've done to it.
Yep.
There's a reestablishment trying to make the world better again. And I don't fully understand the different groups. There's a couple different groups at play in this book. But the girl that you see, she's locked away. And this is like my favorite part of the book, the very beginning of the book. She's locked away in an empty asylum. And she's there completely by herself. They drop food off and don't even talk to her. Like it's behind some window or something like that, and she has to reach out to get it after they've left. So she sees no one, and she's only fed once a day. And she's there because she has some kind of strangeness about her where if she touches somebody with her skin, they'll feel a lot of pain and they could die.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't understand in this dystopian world why it's come to be that she has a curse like this or a power like this. She feels that she's a monster, and she can't have any human contact. Her parents thought she was like a terrible creature and needed to be locked away. So I don't know how that's come about in this dystopian world still after the second book, which is kind of interesting because there are 6 books in this series. So I'm hoping we'll know why different people have different abilities like this,
So this author is really keeping these
some
things
secrets
under wraps?
Yeah.
We don't know why birds don't fly. We don't know why she has these powers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of unknowns, and I loved the mystery of it as she was locked away in this asylum, and it was just her and her internal thoughts until this other guy came along. And the way that it's written, there's scratch marks out in the book, so you'll be reading along and then she thinks something, but she's like, no, and she edits that out, she crosses it out, but you can read it anyway. And there's a lot of it in the beginning, and she's really kind of out of her mind, So I loved that style, but then as she forms more human connection, there's less of that happening.
Okay.
But I feel like the author, she's like, well, I still got to keep that in there. That's my thing, So even in the second book, even though we have full relationships formed and we're talking with lots of different people, every so often there's a word scratched out. And I'm like, you don't still need to do that. It doesn't really fit anymore.
So it's like her inner thoughts?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Or is it her journal entries?
No, inner thoughts, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, it feels like she's just writing the book. It's written from the first person perspective and everything, so it feels like it's just coming out of her into the book.
Okay.
Yeah. So then this guy comes, and we don't know what's he all about? And there's lots of twists in this book. There's things that we don't know about different people's identities. There's things that we don't understand about these powers, about the world and what's happening outside of whatever wall she's locked behind. So there's a lot to kind of like discover along the way, and you might have a certain expectation about one thing and it doesn't pan out and it goes a different way. So it's been kind of fun. I've enjoyed it.
Did they break out of that cell?
They did. I mean, I don't feel like that's too spoiling. Obviously, you're not going to spend the whole book in this cell.
Right. Yeah.
That would go nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do break out of the cell. But it's interesting because I feel like there's two different transition points in the book. They break out of the cell, then they're somewhere else, and then that also shifts into another situation. So we're like progressing through this world and all the restrictions that are placed on her. So this group that busts her out of that asylum has some evil intentions for her because she's got this like monstrously powerful power inside of her to hurt people, and that could be used as a weapon, you know?
Is she in control of it?
She really doesn't understand much of it other than if somebody touches her, it's all over. So she can't
have like
not
relations.
hurt them. Right. Yeah.
She can't touch anybody.
Can't hug somebody, kiss somebody. Right.
Does she have gloves on?
At times in the book she does, but when she's in the asylum, I think she's like threadbare because nobody's there touching her, you know. But yes, to protect themselves from her later on, she does need to be fully clothed and covered so that she won't unintentionally hurt somebody. Because, you know, that can be, they're hoping that she can be manipulated to be this wonderful weapon for them, but she's spent her whole life hurting people and she doesn't want to hurt another soul. There's good guys and bad guys in the book, and you mentioned, so nobody can touch her, right?
Yeah.
So this is a YA dystopian, so can we really go the whole book with nobody being able to touch her?
Right.
We can't.
That guy in the cell?
So there's one person in the book
She's not going to tell us.
that may be able to touch her, and her hormones are like raging. So it's quite a lot of contact, which is interesting that like this is an 8th grade reading assignment, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, does the teacher remember this part of the book? Did the teacher read this book? I'm a little surprised. There is quite a lot of excited petting when she realizes that there's somebody that she can touch.
Like sexual?
Not complete sexual, but yes, very sexual. Lots.
That's so bizarre to me.
Lots.
It happens a lot.
Why is that bizarre to you?
In an 8th grade book.
I know.
It happens a lot.
Well, I mean, kids are really excellent at reading, and they're reading a lot of stuff like beyond their reading level, I feel like. So they do get a lot of content sometimes that's much more sexually involved. So that's here in this book. Yep.
Okay. Wow.
But I've been enjoying it. The relationships are fun. The characters are interesting, and there's more to learn about them as it goes, you know, since there's so much that's unknown about them. And I'm in the second book and I'm not able to put it down. Is
that this one?
Yeah. Unravel Me.
Cool.
There's 6 total and I think 5 novellas, so there's quite a lot. I did read, there was a 100-page novella at the end of this one, and it was called, what's in here? It's called Destroy Me, after the first book. 100 pages of this novella, and I was like, I'm not enjoying it. So I've decided I'm not as much of a fan of novellas.
Yeah, you don't like them.
Yeah, I used to feel like it added something, but I don't know. And still I'm going to read them.
You kind of have
Why
to.
can't I, like, ignore them? I don't know, guys. Should I try to ignore the novellas?
Yeah. You didn't like the TJ Klune ones?
What were the TJ Klune ones? No, they were so small, and it was like a waste.
The Green Creek ones.
Yeah, they were unnecessary. They were like a poetic like hint at something, and I was like, this isn't giving me anything for the book.
Poetical. Blast from the past.
Mary misspeaks sometimes. So yeah, I don't really feel like I need the novellas, and 100 pages of this novella I definitely didn't need.
So it's 100 pages of this book right here?
The 100 at the end is a novella.
So this is not as long. Okay.
Yeah, which was unnecessary, but yeah. What else can I say? Do you have other questions for me?
No, I think we did good.
All right.
I'm really in love with these covers, Mary.
They are pretty.
They're gorgeous.
Each one of them has an open eye. I think the novellas have a closed eye.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and they have little different features. We've got like water pouring out of this one and the trees cracking out of it.
Yeah, this one is like frosty with ice. There's a bird in the center of her eye. That's flying. Yeah,
there's a bird in this one too.
Is that flying?
Yeah. She wants to see a flying bird. She's like always hoping and looking out the window, desperate to see a flying bird.
Oh my God.
Hoping that the world is repairing, that she's going to be able to see one.
That's powerful.
Yeah. So we'll see. By book 6, will the world be repaired? Have you guys read it? I don't know. I'll get there. I'll find out soon.
Sounds good. I think I want to read this. Is this a Joe book?
No.
Ah,
Too girly.
too girly.
All the sappy, like, oh my God, he can touch me.
Yeah,
It's
see, why
not
do you
a
need
Joe
that?
book.
It sounds like such a great premise.
I
And, like,
know.
just leave all that crap out.
I'm enjoying the girl stuff. But
Like, you could
wouldn't
say
enjoy
it,
the
but,
girl
like,
stuff.
over and over.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let us know if you've read these and what you think about them.
And if you're enjoying Book Buds, give us a thumbs up.
And share us with your friends.
And subscribe to our channel, Book Buds!
Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.
We're so funny. I have nothing but a small notebook and a noisy car.
Frustration tolerance much?
0. Company. 1 window, 4 walls. 10 cars. Okay. I know you're like dying over there.
Absolutely dying. So funny. Love your acting
It's so
faces.
funny when Mary's silent.
Your acting faces are just hysterical.